Hey everyone, what's going on? Maji here. I hope you're all enjoying the brand new Brink of Extinction Grandmaster quest the Jagex released into the game. But this video is about the patch notes that also accompany this update, so this is the patch notes review video for December the 4th, 2012. First, under the graphical category, Dean Velio now wears the current version of the Bandos armor. They've removed the road fishing spot from the Death Plateau. The effect on Packbreaker Longsword offhand is no longer misaligned. The Noble Hat off-ride now sits correctly on female players' heads. An issue has been fixed with the inventory icons for the dragon crossbows. Performing alchemy with a sheathed staff no longer uses the staff alchemy animation. An NPC in the Desert Treasure quest has been altered so he is no longer wielding an old dragon dagger P++. Uraeus, which is Apep's axe, no longer floats behind the player rather than sheathing properly. The Dominion Tower rune pickaxe now uses the updated model. A stretching issue with the frog mask has been fixed. The Diamond Scepter and Golden Hammer will no longer allow their animations to be performed while sheathed, and salamanders can now be sheathed as well. That's just very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to put a salamander away. Anyway, next under the quest challenges and achievements category, creating an elemental shield no longer incorrectly checks for the unslashed variant of the Elemental Workshop book. They fixed several typos in the Rune Mysteries and Rune Memories quests. Wizard Mizgog will no longer mention Wizard Greyzag if Greyzag is not in the tower. The Holy Grail quest information now reflects correctly the stats to wield Excalibur. Next up, under the skills and minigames category, a hard clue scroll riddle has been updated to reflect the correct location to dig in the wilderness. After throwing a ranged weapon at the circus area, you will immediately come out of the combat stance so you can perform an emote afterwards. The duel arena now states no abilities rather than no special attacks in the interface, so you can toggle off no abilities in a duel now. And Troll Invasion no longer stops players' progress if they stand on certain squares within the minigame. Next up, under the combat heading, ranged and magic dragonfire shields now protect against skeletal wyverns. The lightning staff is now correctly a two-handed weapon like all other staffs. Players who reach combat level 151 through leveling their defense level will no longer get the message that you have reached the highest possible combat level of 200. The Zarket is now classed as a crush weapon. Clicking on the chat box instead of hinting enter will no longer cause abilities to be used while typing. Snipe no longer causes rapid fire to only fire one shot. The Zamorak fighters in the Arania altar are now aggressive again. Elemental wizards now award experience correctly. Bandits now appear as a target when attacked. Ice Fiends have been updated. They are really vague on this one. Lint versions of the God Swords are now correctly triggering their passive effects. And the final category this week, which is a very huge category, it's the other miscellaneous category. Slayer Masters now give out useful information about a player's current Slayer target's weakness. An issue with the blue dragon hide from treasure trails being for members has been fixed. Karamjan rum is now drinkable. The desert effect now works in all new areas of the desert. The chat pane resize arrow no longer disappears when you resize the game window. Fire giants dying in the chaos tunnels will no longer drop their loot on an unreachable tile next to the lava pit. Using a single Karambuan on a fire no longer only lets you cook poison Karambuan. Cleaning grimy spirit weed no longer opens the interface for cleaning Fellstalk, which is awkward. Praying Mantis pouch materials have been corrected. I think they mentioned this before as well, but that might have been last week. Anyway, players will no longer be notified that they don't have enough ingredients to make a pizza when successfully making a chocolate cake. We've adjusted the skill guide and in-game notification on Bronze Minotaur requirements. Grimy herbs will now be correctly named in the feedback message seen when cleaning them. The progress bar for skilling will no longer remain on screen after a full screen interface is opened, interrupting the skilling. Poison is no longer carried through dungeoneering floors. The Group Gate Stone Teleport now has the correct magic level listed. We've updated the tooltip on 5 battle staves so they now state 40 magic instead of level 30 required. Graphite weapons no longer show up as members only in the skill advanced guide. The Rigor Dungeoneering reward has been removed from the skill advanced guide. The crystal bow has ammo type thrown rather than ranged on the GE. Ganodermic armor now has correct requirements listed on the skill guide. The Steel and Creation reward pickaxes have been given the correct wield requirements. The Dungeoneering interface has been updated to have the correct values for the arcane necklaces. Players must stand next to an elemental altar to cast the enchant orb spells. A bunny up swallow whole ability now gives the correct amount of life points. Several offhand items have had their names changed from offhand to offhand with a dash in between off and hand for consistency. The Wilderness Manual and items kept on death interface no longer state that you keep 3 items unless sculled, because the sculling interface was removed from the game, or that mechanic was removed from the game with the Evolution of Combat update a couple weeks ago. The Penance set now restores the correct amount of prayer points per minute. Twisted Bird Skull and Demon Horn Necklace now restores the correct amount of prayer points. The Pharaoh's Scepter now behaves correctly on the action bar. The Magic Skill Advanced Guide now lists the Griffolic Wand, the Shield, and the Orb as members' items. The Zamorak Coif now displays the correct level requirements on the Grand Exchange. Blue Dragonhide Coifs are now correctly providing magic defense. The Mage of Zamorak no longer mentions being skulled because, once again, they've removed that. When you gain a level in prayer, your prayer points are now increased correctly. Penance armor has been updated on the skill guide to show the correct requirements. And finally this week, the coal bag no longer has a null option on the action bar. So that completes all of the patch notes for the updated December the 4th, 2012. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to me yet. Hit the like button below the video to help spread the word about these patch notes, because I'm pretty sure not everybody reads them. And you can check out one of the other 2 videos on the right hand side of the screen. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week with another rundown of the patch notes. Good luck on the Grandmaster Quest, everyone.